Hello there and welcome back to Coffee Break Blogging. Today we're going to talk about what I call the blog profit funnel. Now, what we're basically going to be talking about here is the idea of a sales funnel, okay? The reason I call it blog profit funnel is simply because the way that I put the system together is that it's very much integrated in with a blog, which is something that not all marketers do. A lot of marketers run paid traffic and stuff. That's stuff that we will be talking about as well, but being that what we're talking about here is a blog-centric business, I'm basically just kind of, adding a little naming tweak to the concept of a sales funnel because we're applying it to our blog, okay? So I want to be clear about that. It's called the blog profit funnel, at least in my world. Now, I want to also say that what we're going to be doing in this episode is kind of giving a broad overview of that funnel, but we are not going to be getting into all the details of it. And I'm actually not going to spend a lot of time on every little nitty-gritty detail of it, only because it's the stuff that I teach inside the Blog Monetization Lab, okay? So you can either go and join the Blog Monetization Lab, and that would be, of course, blogmonetizationlab.com, but you can also check out this, and that is that I have actually pulled out one of my action plans from the lab specifically about blog profit funnels, and you can actually pick up just that action plan without joining the lab for just for a limited time. And you could do that at blogmarketingacademy.com/funnels, okay? And that will take you right to that page where you can learn about that particular action plan and get a significant discount on it, okay? Significant. Okay, so with that being said, let's go ahead and start talking a little bit here about this funnel. Now, in the last episode, we talked about the transformation, and we talked about how that's really super important to arriving at product market fit. Now, that product market fit really is the underlying foundation that everything else depends upon. This entire blog profit funnel is going to be it's predicated by a good product market fit. If you've got a crappy product market fit, your funnel's not going to convert that well. It doesn't matter how well developed the funnel is, it's probably not going to function very well if you're not, at the end of the day, offering a product to a hungry market, okay? So that should go without saying. So with all that, well, let's just assume that that part is taken care of right now. Let's go into the funnel itself. Now, this funnel is based on the three primary ways to grow a business. And those three ways to grow your business are, number one, to get more customers. Duh, right? Get more people to buy stuff. Number two is more frequent purchases. So that is the idea of getting your existing customers to buy things more often from you. All right? And then number three is to have higher ticket sales. In other words, have the average transaction size be larger, okay? So those are the three basic ways to grow a business: more customers, more frequent purchases, and higher ticket sales. Now, a fully developed funnel is going to have all three of these things in play, and any developed business should be actively trying to do all three things, okay? Because it's a newbie way to think about business, to always be thinking, I need to find more customers. I need to get more leads. I need to get more customers. That's fine. But if you spend all your time only trying to convince brand new, quote unquote, cold leads to buy your stuff, it's going to be a lot more work and not as effective as going to people who have already bought something from you and getting them to buy again, or getting them to buy something that cost more. Okay, so you got to have all three ways to have a fully developed business. Okay, so with that in mind, what you want to do is you want to design a series of offers, a series of products that fulfill all three things. Okay, you want to put them into a graduated series, because typically, let's say that you have an offer that costs $1,000, whatever that might be. Well, your chances of getting somebody who just heard of you, they just found you, to come spend $1,000 with you is pretty low. Okay, so that should make it very clear that we want to have a graduated series of offers here. They're probably willing to buy something cheap from you at the beginning, try you out, get a feel, see if you're the right fit for them. And then if that pans out, then they might go for something a little higher end in price, okay? So again, backing up to the last episode where we talked about having your transformation, any sub-transformations, and then mapping your products and your offers to the problems and barriers that they're going to have to overcome in order to achieve that transformation. I hope from there you can then outline some product offers and put them into a logical sequence that builds upon their relationship with you. Okay? So we're actually putting together a progression, a product line that delivers the transformation, but also works on accomplishing these three things. You want to get more customers, you want to get them to buy things more often, and we want to get them to make higher ticket purchases. Okay? Now, the way that we do this in the funnel is by having low end, middle end, and basically high end. Now, let me explain how this works. It's actually real simple stuff. Your low end offers are typically going to be the things that you present to people first. And it's because people who are brand new to you, they're not going to be generally willing to make a really high commitment to you without building up that know, like, and trust factor. Now, there are ways to short circuit that. For example, if you get them onto a webinar with you and they've just listened to you for an hour, well, you probably built up a good relationship with them in the course of that hour. So you will probably be able to sell something a lot higher end on a webinar. You'll be able to kick them further along in the funnel than you otherwise would. But outside of a situation like that where you've got that really high level of engagement, this is going to be a brand new person and they may have just read a blog post. That type of person is generally not going to go and buy something all that expensive. Okay? And so generally your front-facing products are going to be your low-end, front-end offers. And the whole purpose of those front-end offers is to accomplish the first method of growing your business, which is to get more customers. Okay? If you present a front-end offer to somebody who they're a qualified lead and the price is not an issue because this is a cheap thing, then you're going to be able to get more customers because there's a much lower barrier to entry to moving from free subscriber up to an actual customer of your business. Okay? So that's the front end offer. Realize with the front end offer too, that really at the end of the day, it's not about making a ton of money on front end offers. It really is more about moving that relationship status up to the next level. Because, my front end offers, I tend to put them around the $7 point, and I'm not making bank on $7. I mean, I'd have to make a boatload of sales at the $7 level to even pay my bills. And so that's not really the total focus. The whole point of the front end offer is to get people to experience being a customer of the Blog Marketing Academy. That's it. Okay. Now let's move on to the next level of the funnel. And some people, they call this the core offer, and that's certainly a great thing to call it. Now I'm going to put it into my particular model here as the membership site. Now I am making a bit of an assumption here because I'm a huge fan of the membership site, and I believe that for many blog owners, and that is primarily my customer base, is blog owners, I think the membership site, the recurring billing model, is the best model to go because most of us are in the content business, and that lends itself beautifully to a premium level of delivery via a membership site. But here's what a membership site also does is it accomplishes the second way to grow your business, which is more frequent purchases. I mean, think about it. When somebody is recurring, when somebody is being renewed every month, well, essentially they're buying something from you every single month. Every time that their membership renews, it's a new transaction. And so that's your way of accomplishing the second way of growing your business. Now, if you don't have a membership site there and you just have a more expensive product, that's perfectly fine too. I just happen to be a big fan of the membership model, okay? And not only that, when you have the membership model in place, it's really easy to extract front-end offers from that membership. So it's kind of a way of killing two birds with one stone, okay? Now, moving from the membership site, we move into the higher end. And if to have a fully developed business, you're going to want to have higher end products or services for those who want it. Okay. So we're talking, if you have a membership site and you're charging just a few bucks a month or maybe $30 a month or what have you, you're going to want to have options available for those who are willing to pay for the next level. Okay. You need higher end products or services. And this could go to like a gold level of membership or platinum or something, but it could also be in the form of coaching or something much higher end. And if you don't have those things in place right now, don't sweat it, but you should jot down some ideas on what that can be. Now, if you have any doubt of the way that this works, these three things, the low end, the middle, so to speak, and then the higher end, I want you to check out a book. And this is by a guy named Perry Marshall, and it's called 80/20 Sales and Marketing. Really excellent book, and it talks about the 80/20 rule. Now, the 80/20 rule is very, very often brought up in the area of productivity and the idea that you're going to get most of your results, 80% of your results from 20% of your efforts. But that 80/20 rule applies to a lot of other things, and the big point of Perry's book is how 80/20 applies to sales. And he says that no matter what you are doing, you're going to have a group of people and you're going to have 80% of them probably that won't buy, but 20% will. And then within those 20% of people who will buy, you're going to have 20% of them who will upgrade to the next level. And then of those 20% of people who upgraded to the next level, you'll have 20% of them who are going to be open to a high end. And so he makes the point of how 80/20, that curve, applies to how you design your business. And for that reason, if you don't have a middle end or a membership site or a higher end membership or even higher end offers, you're actually leaving a lot of money on the table. Because if you're serving a group of people, numbers speak for themselves. There are people there who would be willing to buy higher end stuff from you. Whether you think they're there or not, they are. Okay? So with that in mind, again, that's 80/20 Sales and Marketing, a very interesting, very valuable book. You can check it out on Amazon. But this is the basic foundation of how the funnel works. We're having the low end to get new customers in. We have the membership site in order to get more frequent purchases. And we have the higher end products or services in order to get those higher ticket sales. All three ways of growing a business are taken care of. And you, as long as you've got the good product market fit, you have a good business going on. We can run traffic to this thing via our blog, via paid traffic, and we will grow this into a full-time, nice profit stream for you. It will happen, okay? This is a good model, okay? So with all this in mind, I'm going to very quickly go through the basic components here of the blog profit funnel. I've already basically outlined all three stages. Now, it starts off typically with a lead magnet. The lead magnet is what gets them on your list. Everything starts when they get onto your email list. And that can be via a typical lead magnet, stuff we've talked about on Coffee Break before. I also have an action plan inside the Blog Monetization Lab to help you with that. And once they're on your list, once they've opted in, that's when you present them the front-end offer, okay? Right after they opt in. And the lead magnet and the front-end offer need to go together like peas and carrots. They need to be a perfect match so that people who opt in for that lead magnet are going to be a great prospect for the front-end offer. And that is how you get more customers in the door. Now, from there, you go into the next level, which is going to be your membership or your core offer. And then from there into the high end, all stuff we've already talked about. Now, these funnels, this blog profit funnel, is how money gets made. Okay, this is how you're going to facilitate an exchange of value with your audience. This is how you're going to deliver or sell to them the products and services that are going to help enable the transformation. The delivery aspect of it is a different matter because obviously the game really starts once they've bought something from you. That's when you really need to go in there and make sure they get everything that they wanted from it. But these funnels are, this is the framework. This is how money is going to get made and how you're going to get customers. Forget about banner advertising. Okay, it's the stupid thing to do. I know we talked all about that back in episode 109, but this blog profit funnel is the structure. It's highly effective. And not only that, ideally, once you have a funnel set up, and it doesn't even have to go all the way through the high-end level to be a functional funnel, this is how new leads are going to come in. Okay, so ideally, every new lead, every person who subscribes to your list is going to go through a funnel in order to get there. And that means that every person who gets on your list has the opportunity to become a potential customer of yours from day one. Okay? Now, you're leading with value by way of your blog and things like that, but the whole job here is to get them to go through one of your funnels. And yes, you will, ideally, you're going to have more than one of these things. Okay? All right. So that is, in a nutshell, the blog profit funnel. Now, as I said at the beginning, this was a bird's eye view. There are mechanics that go into it. There's how you integrate your email list system into it so that it moves the whole thing along on automatic. There's how you connect these pages to each other. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that it's rocket science because it's not, but it is something that we're not going to go over in a lot of detail here on this podcast. So for that reason, again, I want to remind you to go check out the one-time purchase of this action plan on creating blog profit funnels, where I do walk you through in detail how to set it up. And you can get that at blogmarketingacademy.com/funnels, and it will take you right there. Now, of course, that's the action plan by itself. If you'd like to get that action plan and every other one, then get into the Blog Monetization Lab. That is where the core transformation that I deliver is being delivered inside the Blog Monetization Lab. So that would be found at blogmonetizationlab.com. Okay, so that's the blog profit funnel. Very, very core strategy that we're working on. A lot of the episodes coming up here on Coffee Break are going to be about various aspects of that. And with that being said, I will see you next time on Coffee Break. See you then. Thanks for listening to this episode of Coffee Break Blogging. If you like what you heard here today, we have something awesome we'd love to send you. It's called the Blog Conversion Guide, and it has 9 tweaks you can make to your blog in order to increase your conversion rate to get more opt-ins and sales. As one of our listeners, we'd love to give you access to this guide absolutely free. You can get your copy right now by going to coffeebreakblogging.com. Again, go to coffeebreakblogging.com to get your copy, and we'll see you next time.